Hello, guys. You might see me going like this in the video, okay? I just had my breakfast, and I put hemp seeds and flax seeds into it, and I probably should have brushed my teeth because I feel like there's some up underneath my gums or something. It's driving me a little bit insane, okay? But we're going into another Rune Raker video. But before I get started, I want to talk really quickly. So I went and watched where Russell went into what I'm calling the bone church, okay? And this song came up for me as I was watching it. And I left a post on his video, and I will try to remember and go back and link to that video in the comments below, as well as the link for the first Rune Raker video of his I've got in there. So anyway, he went into this church sort of space, right? And what came to me was this song, and it's all made out of bones and skulls. And it's this song called Deathbeds. And the two verses and things that kept going through my head is, that little kiss you stole, it held my heart and soul. And like a ghost in the silence, I disappear. Don't try to fight the storm. You'll tumble overboard. Tides will bring you back to me. And then the second verse is, that little kiss you stole, it held my heart and soul. And like a deer in the headlights, I meet my fate. Don't try to fight the storm. You'll tumble overboard. Tides will bring you back to me. Okay, and this is, this band is called Bring Me the Horizon. And I saw this, like this, of being like these nuns, high priestess, and these priests, okay? And this, like, family type, like the sisterly, like kissing, right? Like, I'm kissing you, and this kiss is like, I'm holding your heart and your soul. And knowing what this fate is going to be, and knowing that some of us have chosen to stay here and protect this sacred space. And eventually the frequencies, okay, the tides, sound waves will bring you back to me. So it just kept going on. And then when I was getting ready, when I was warming my breakfast, I had put the dogs outside. And every time I stood outside, because when I put them out this morning, I have these two twin bushes, okay? And we're going to go into Union today. And so it's funny because I went to Lowe's a few weekends ago, and their watering system was not working. And because of that, they had all of these plants for 90% off. And I bought, hey, Oliver, hey, don't bark. You want to go out? If you don't lay down, you can't be in here, right? This is sacred space. No, sacred. Bah, lay down. Come on, you can come over here and lay down if you want. You can't go with your father out the door. No. And so they had tried, the dogs, when I went outside, they were digging up the weaker of the trees. And I was so mad. I went and I buried the tree back up, right? And so when I put them out this last time while I was warming my lunch, okay, lay down. See, even the bird outside is saying, Oliver, lay down. No, bird is telling you to lay down. This dog and his spiritual energy. Anyway, I kept hearing sirens, which if you go watch the video that Russell does in this bone church, there's these sirens that keep going off. So both times, every time I went outside, there were sirens. And I thought, well, that's really interesting. So then I went out because they had started to dig up this poor tree again. And they're like, you know, twins. And there was a rock sitting there. Oliver, you have to just calm down. Come here. And, come on. Here we go. Do you want up here? Come here. Come on. You can come up here or you can lay down. And so I put the rock on where I covered. Come here. Come on. Up, up, up. You can do it. Yay. There's Oliver. So I put the rock on the dirt, and it was like putting like a headstone on this plant. And I told them, this is the headstone that says this is a protected area, and you're no longer allowed to dig up this tree. And then I was like, oh, protection. Okay. Like there's that energy in that church, that bone church of protection. And then it kept coming into my head, bone conduction, bone conduction, bone conduction. And so I don't even know if Russell realizes that he may have been getting, that's my sign that someone needs to hear this, that he may have been getting messages that he needed to hear in a different frequency. Bone conduction is the conduction of sound to the inner ear primarily through the bones of the skull, allowing the hearer to perceive audio content without blocking the ear canal. Bone generally conveys lower frequency sounds better than higher frequency sounds. Okay? And so it is, I feel like Russell's always at such a high frequency conduction that he needed to go in there to hear like some of this lower frequency that's trying to come up with his creation of this rune deck. Okay. And then also it was funny because, so yesterday I had this migraine trying to come on. And I really do not usually get migraines. And I took a nap. Okay, I took some niacin, I took some turmeric, and then I took a nap. Okay, self-care. And so normally on Tuesdays I do my altar. So I did my altar today. And when I finished doing my altar, right across from me is a bookcase. And I've got a picture of my daughter with Mickey Mouse on her 4th birthday. And behind it is a print from MJ, who created the Crow Tarot, okay, and several other Crow decks that a lot of you may not know are out there. And it sits behind it, and it sits at an angle backwards. And Spirit had to use a lot of force to pick that up and the frame in front of it and throw them to the floor. And yet nothing broke. It was just to get my attention. This is what the print is of. It is Bond. Okay, this is from MJ's Crow Oracle deck, okay? MJ is here locally in Seattle, where I live, and like this, the crows are like very spiritually woven into this area. And when I first moved to where I'm at right now, I noticed after we bought this house that when we would come home at night, I'd see the crows heading to the east every morning or every night, right? I thought, that is so weird. Well, up here in Bothell, that's where they go home at night. They have a community. They have a community. One day I saw where one crow had died and the other crow would not leave it. Like that was its mate. I will not leave. Okay, they have bonds. They have community. They have family. They have union. Okay, and so I wanted to pull this card out because what we're going into today, right, is union. Okay, Jera. And I also wanted to address before we really get started on this. So today, my reading that I had done several days ago about the sun's reflection, okay, which is this symbol. And I called the title of the reading was Seagull's Reflection because that's the sun, was not the reading of the sun. Okay, the sun and the night will be coming out together, I think, on Saturday. Okay, but it's interesting because this is the sun's reflection. I'm also getting ready to do energy, which I might do in this video, it depends. And then there's the moon, right? So the sun's reflection is a bind of energy and the moon, or even a bind of a triple energy of the moon. Okay, threes, and the threes keep following me. And I posted, let's see if I can show you. I posted on Facebook today, which really kind of aligns with this. I find this very interesting because the threes, I keep seeing 333, 333. So if you look here at the angel number 333 photo that I got, I don't know if you can tell, but that's yellow threes on a night sky. Okay, and what I said is threes keep stalking me and reminding me how to keep sharing my gift. I love that the 333 is like the moon, illumination of the sun as we move through our shadows. Okay, 3. So just the seagull's reflection, the sun's reflection, right? 3. Just important, I felt like, to share. Okay, so the bond, okay, union. So what I got initially was coming together, okay? This is the oracles of the sun. Union is the oracles of the sun. Harvest, but also the yin and the yang of the moon cycles. The often imbalanced energy of push-pull for the perception of joy, love, and union is this symbol, okay? Perception, imbalanced, push-pull. Okay, harvest, you have to plant a seed, you need the sun to grow. Okay, without the, you also need that recovery time, right? Like with my holistic clients, right, I often get them growing indoor urban gardens. And the urban garden that I use with my clients, you can grow in the winter and it has a light system, but the light system, right, turns off at night because, as it turns out, there is a recovery process for plants as well in the night, right? Like everything has this circadian rhythm, this cycle within us. And so coming together, the oracles of the sun. And I've got to write, they're asking me to write this bigger. Oracles of the sun. Okay. The union is the oracles of the sun. And I almost feel like if you look at the sun right across from it and you look at the union, it is like you've taken the sun, stretched it apart, right? And you've pulled it in a way so that this middle section breaks apart. So you still have the two standards, okay? This two defined parts still in their definition. But there's the part that links them. This mirror soul energy, this part that links them together so that when like energy finds like energy, there is a vibrational understanding. And as such, we also have to remember, like I've been putting together my empath course, and empaths are not feeling everyone's frequency. We are feeling everyone with a like shadow, right? So it's trying to bring up, just like the mirror, right? It's trying to bring things up to the surface, up to the surface, up to the surface, the reflection, so that we can heal it and move on to our true path. Okay. Now I am going to start with union here. Okay. I'm going to do it a little differently today because I want to use these 3 crow decks. Okay. So I'm going to put union right here at the top. Okay. The bond. So I want Spirit to tell me about the bond, and then I'm going to move more into the oracle. Okay. So tell me about the bond. Yes, they are. Thank you, Spirit. All right. Queen of Cups. So the Queen of Cups in this deck is like, I can take care of myself, right? I've moved away from my masculine. I'm in my own power. I have all the nurturing and wishes and joy that I need. And if I desire, I might move out into the water. I might move out into my emotions and manifest a new beginning with the new moon, okay? When it is the right spot in my cycle, I might feel like creating something. Okay, but otherwise, I'm very much in my own power. Okay, and this comes as a like the word they're saying to me is almost like I'm getting like confluence. Okay, but which I don't know what that means. I'll have to look up confluence later. You can always type it down below. But to me, it almost feels like it's kind of like conundrum, right? It's like this, like now I realize that if I don't move out at this specific time, right, the water's going to freeze over and I won't be able to go anywhere. And I know deeply what I wish for, but do I really want to get into that wish right now? Okay, do I really want to get into that wish right now? They want one more. Okay. And sometimes she just abandons it all. The Chariot. Okay. Because you can see down below, you can see these lightning strikes. Like getting into this is going to be hard. Bottom of the deck. All right. Queen of Wands. There's the mirroring Emperor's energy. Okay, getting into this is going to be hard because I have to look at my own masculine energy and I have to look at your masculine energy and I have to balance it. And I don't want to do that. Sometimes I just don't want it. Sometimes I just have to fly the coop, get away from the surprises, get away from the tower. I don't want to grow. I don't want to heal. I don't want to see myself in you. I just fly the coop and just go to be in my own power. All right. So let's pull a couple here for this bond, this union, okay, from the Urban Crow Tarot. Yeah. Okay. And so I feel like then sometimes foolishly, right? It's like, I will come forward. And it's interesting because this wolf has only 3. I've never noticed that before, but this wolf looks like it only has 3 legs. Okay, and back in the back on the land, we have this very spiritual, this almost like ghost, okay, higher self wolf, howling at the fact that the chance may have passed for this creation, okay, but this emperor is chasing after the empress on 3 legs on this frozen lake that may not be completely frozen yet. Like, I'm coming for you. And there's this look in the empress's eyes like, what have I done? What if you fall through? What if you get hurt? Out of my own singular stubbornness. What if I have put you in danger? And there's also this energy of the aurora borealis, okay, coming in. And the light frequency of messages, right? And the unknown starting to come up from the bottom of this emotional abyss. Like, I feel like there must be somewhere in these ancient texts the story of the 3-legged wolf. Okay. And then we get, I told you 3s are tracking me right now. We get the 3 of Pentacles in reverse. Okay. This takes the wolf and turns their perception upside down. Okay. There's the stag, the emperor. All of a sudden there's an understanding. Okay. The power play was not what I thought. The power play was not about the monetary, okay? I thought I was trying to capture you by showing you my power. That it was as aligned to you, like I could match you, Empress. But that's not it. All of a sudden the world is turned upside down when the Empress says, wait, don't move any further. I didn't realize I was putting you in harm's way by being stubborn about all of this. And the Emperor is like, oh, I understand now, right? Like, you love me. Bottom of the deck is the Hierophant. There's the key. Okay, I realize that there is a special bond between us that has nothing to do with this 3D energy, this realm. This was all just illusion to get us to this point. Tell me a little bit more about this bond. Okay, yes, it's meant for growth. And when we pull out of our ego, that is when the illumination, right? That is when the oracles of the sun are seen. And the true growth of our true being starts to happen. And when that happens, it doesn't matter how many storms come. We are waterproof. We are not going to be harmed after that. Once that happens, once that union comes together, we are unconditional love, we are happiness, we are the sun. That is all of what's going on in Jera, right? Is this, as far as the bond is going, is the slow movement into the realization on both parties of that magnetic pull being for this higher growth. And then it's like the magnets where they go and they click into place. And then we have the sun. Then we have these two individuals being the same oracle message of unconditional love. So, tell me a little bit more about this union. Okay, it takes being thoughtful, right? It takes being attentive to each other and involved. You cannot have a union if there is not integrative work being done. It's kind of like when I do my sacred space circles, like I'm doing one this Friday, but this won't post until after that. But it is, when we're all holding space together, we are like that magnetic link of the vibrational force field, of the atomic connectivity, okay? And our bones, our bones are conducting that energy. And when you come into that frequency with that like energy and that bone conduction, there's this mysterious twinkle of pink, right? Spark that happens. And we become intrigued by this unknown source that has suddenly opened a little piece of ourselves. And sometimes we don't even realize it's happened. Like, you can realize after the fact that when you meet someone and you align with them, and it doesn't matter whether it's a friend or a lover, but you meet someone and you realize, oh my gosh, like we went to the same school when we were like 6, okay? Or we had a similar childhood. There is a frequency, okay? That's part of the reason why we are in this specific physical form. It is the conduction of the bone frequencies of the shadow that needs to be brought up to the surface and healed. Eight of Swords, courage and solutions. Okay. When you awaken, now you realize there's much more to the picture than there was before. You're no longer tied to those shadows. Now you can do the work. Now you can have that growth. You can rise up higher. Okay, you can harvest what has always been there that you have had to work on, right? I saw this as being harvest. Now you can harvest that which was always yours. Okay, always ours. And the Eight of Pentacles, of course, it takes some dedication to get this progress. Like you can see, like sometimes those shadows, that reflection, it feels like you're just pounding your head into the wall. And maybe sometimes that is the bone frequency that is required. Like my mother-in-law has told stories of my husband as an infant, okay, pounding his head against the door until he would get a bruise. He couldn't communicate. And back then, they didn't tell you, oh, you should teach your child sign language, okay? They didn't do things like that. And so whatever he was dealing with reflectively could not be communicated. And so he was very dedicated at trying to enforce that I need to say something. I need this to come out of me. And it was not, right? But he wasn't carrying the frequency to be able to, I feel like, to share with the right person yet. Okay? Tell me more about union. There we have, okay, the wise fox. We've got death. There's a curiosity, right? There's an angelic, like, portion of it. There is dancing with our shadows, with this unknown. It all has to come into place, into play, into the right moment with the right frequency in order for us to attract what we need and to truly see it, to work through it. All right? To pull us out of our ego space, to pull us out of that space where we've protected ourselves in the bone church. Okay, there's a reason why the ego is in the bone church. Okay, primal brain, it's being protected to tell you, go eat something. Okay, you're safe, you can sleep. Oh crap, you're not safe, run like hell and reproduce so that there is another bone church, okay, to carry things on. But all the time in that neocortex is all the information being held in the CPU of the body. And that is also why that space is being protected. Because the CPU is carrying all the information coming in and out, okay, of all dimensions. It's protected for a reason. Dreamer of Wands, okay? When we're ready to start working towards this magnetic link, this sync up, it is a slow progress. And there's the fish, which is part of my yin and yang, okay? One will get into the emotions first before the other will. One will get into the CPU information first before the other will. Sometimes those other people that are magnetically like vibrating with us at that low frequency, they will never come out of that low frequency. You will heal, you'll move on, you will no longer resonate with them, but Spirit is saying you do not have to atone for that. Okay? That is not your work. That is their work. All right? Tell us more about union. Coming back to the Queen of the Cups and that one fish. Okay, does the original Queen of Cups have one fish? Let me look. Yes, all three of these have just the one fish. Okay, to me, Pisces, I see Pisces, and it's in the celestial writings that I'm channeling right now that I will release here very soon. I see Pisces as Inyo Divine, okay, yin and yang. All three of these have this one fish. And they're in my head, they go one fish, two fish, red fish, blue fish. Okay. There is the one fish. There is the two fish, okay? They are synchronous. There is the red fish and the blue fish. The 3D reality and the non-dimensional etheric souls. And we get to choose, right? Right? We get to choose. It is a kindness to love on ourselves when we are alone in the singularity. But we are never truly alone in the singularity because there's always that ethereal part of ourselves still commanding frequency, right? Still, it is a command to address our frequencies. It is a command to step up to our higher self. We commanded ourselves. Why? There's the sun. We commanded ourselves to find the like energy, to sync up and become the sun. We have commanded ourselves to do that. Right? There's just too much for us to figure out. Most of all, happiness, unconditional love. Okay, to become the oracles of the sun. We commanded ourselves to find that like energy. Okay. Five of Swords in reverse. Okay, what I love about this is in the upright in this deck, like she has, it's like she's pulled out her heart, she's sewed it up. She's in immense power of High Priestess energy. Okay, this is very much the nun, okay, in the bone conducting church, okay. I am caring for this inner child. I'm caring for this sacred space, but I am not loving, right? I am in strength, like her one hand here reminds me of like a lioness paw, very empress-like, but I am fully in intuition. I am not opening my heart. Okay, so in reverse. Okay, the sacredness of what's being created now becomes the most important part of the lesson, of the challenge, of what is needed when we see Jera. Yes, okay, so then we come into the creator, the unknown, the universal love. You okay there, mister? Yeah. This purpley color is, yeah, it's from digging in the hole. He's got dirt up his nose. This purpley color, which is centralized, okay, in the, I feel like that is the solar plexus, which I feel like is the like connection spot with the soul community. And it comes into this energy that's being pulled through the sacral down into the root chakra. Okay, very much the goddess, the energy that I see. The moon is lined up as the vessel for birth. The owl, there's part of the sun in the owl. I'll get to that when I get to that video. Okay, but it is this opening, right, of this love. Like I'm creating. I need to find this like energy. I need to end these old cycles. I don't understand why, but I know there is a creation that needs to happen. Okay, and we get the Three of Cups. There's the 3, 3, 3 now. Okay, the 3 reverse. The 3 of Seagull's reflection. Okay, from the mountains, right, comes the rivers. When we get up there, right, now we are creating with all of this beautiful higher frequency energy. What else here, Spirit? Okay, King of Swords. So, there's almost like a disbelief that causes a stagnation in this. And it's a fear sometimes of looking at our shadows and being like, there's nothing wrong with me, okay? I am as I am meant to be. I am fine the way I am, okay? And this is mirrored, right? 6 of Swords in reverse. By being in this energy, okay, in our heads, right? This is in reverse, so in our heads, there is that king, okay, soaring, right? See in the upright, there's the king soaring in the upright, in the thoughts, in the headspace of I am as I am meant to be, and I am in control. And yet from above, right, there's the water waiting for the divine moment to start pouring down, okay? And there is nothing that we can do to stop that. We can be as stubborn as we want to, but it's a trickle that will become, I always joke with my clients and say, spirit will, spirit, God, higher self, creator, whatever you want to call it, okay, we will start by getting a little pebble thrown at us. Just kind of a bink, oh, pay attention. All right. And then a bigger rock. And if we don't pay attention, then we get a brick to the head. We don't pay attention, be aware, because now a wall is going to fall on top of you. Okay, so there may be a sprinkle of rain, but I'm still okay. I can still fly. There's still not going to be a lightning strike yet. Okay. They told me to look over here, right? And Spirit says, okay, look, anomaly. We all think that we are the unique one. We all think that we are the one that is not going to be impacted by the collective and by the like energies and the frequencies. We all think, no, nothing will change me. What will change us? Sacred space. Okay? We all know there is a creation that we are meant to be a part of. That is when the change happens, is when we awaken to that. So, Animal Oracle. All right. There's my glasses. I love that. Okay, it's loyalty. It's the red-crowned crane. And what I love about this is that we've got the crane and almost like the crystallized crane here, okay? And it's under the moon, so it's under Seagull's reflection, okay? And it's number 29, which when you break it down, it's, 2 plus 9 is 11, which is my number for divine union, okay? So even if one of you is hardened and crystallized, okay, and refusing, there is still a higher self loyalty woven into the frequencies that will keep being reflected to you so that you can accomplish what you need to accomplish, what you were meant to be here for. All right? So that is a very, very beautiful energy, and I hope that you have enjoyed it. I was going to also go into energy, but I feel to just let this be here. Okay, that's a lot of downloads, a lot of information. All right, so much love. Make sure you check out those links down below, and I hope to see you guys again. All right, bye.